All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the third part of the show, we are now going to talk about the draft order, the updated draft order after Week 12, where teams are currently after this week. So let's get right into that. So I'm going to pull that up right now. Hopefully I don't hit on the wrong one. Here we go. So we got the draft order, courtesy of tankathon.com. So this is like the top 10 here. I know like the last couple of times that I've pulled this up, it had like who was projected to go to what team. But I have that on my phone so I could just, go through it. But yeah, this is the current draft order at the moment. So you got the Bears with the number 1 overall pick, the Cardinals at 2, the Patriots at 3, Bears at 4, Washington, Commanders at 5, the Giants now at 6 with their win over the Patriots. Then you got the Bucks now at 7, the Jets at 8, the Chargers at 9, and the Titans are at 10. First off, regarding the Bucks being 4-7, I'm really sad about this because I came out with that video earlier in the season where I said, hey, the Bucks might not be that bad this year. Are the Bucks legit? And since that video, they just have plummeted, and it's unfortunate because, like I said, I'm a Baker Mayfield fan and I want to see him succeed, but it just hasn't gone that way. It really hasn't. They're 4-7 now, and they still got a shot at the division, believe it or not, with that great NFC South, which has just been a great division the last couple of years. But it's not looking good. Right now they're picking in the top 10. So maybe they draft a quarterback. So, yeah, this is the top 10 right here. Now, in terms of quarterbacks, so you got the Bears, who could definitely, be a team that takes one of these top quarterbacks. The Cardinals, I feel like they're still going to stick with Kyler. Maybe they go and draft, Marvin Harrison Jr. That's a possibility. The Patriots, I think, are definitely going to draft a quarterback. The Bears, if they're already taking a quarterback, they could, maybe look to draft somebody on defense. I know, looking at, tankathon.com, they still have like I think it's the Penn State offensive lineman they have projected to go to the Bears. Olu Fasanu. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I apologize. So that's what they got the Bears doing. They do have the Bears getting Caleb Williams out of USC. But yeah, you see the Jets, the Chargers, the Titans. The Titans, I guess they're going to continue to roll with Will Levis, although he hasn't been great since his debut. They did win on Sunday, but, they only won 17-10. And if they were playing anybody else, they probably, I shouldn't say anybody else, but if they played a team that had a competent offense, they probably would have lost, because the Panthers are a team that just cannot put up points. The Chargers, we'll see what they do. Probably look to get somebody on defense, because the defense has kind of been a problem. On Tankathon, they got Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama, the corner. They're projecting him going there. For the Jets, they got Brock Bowers from Georgia, the tight end, going to the Jets, which, I don't know. That would probably be an instant upgrade over, C.J. Uzama and, Tyler Conklin. But I don't know. Is that what the Jets should do? The weapons are kind of lacking on offense outside of Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, so that wouldn't be bad. But, if Aaron Rodgers is coming back next year, give him another weapon. But I think the offensive line is, still kind of something that they need to address. I feel like Rodgers comes back with Lazard, with Garrett Wilson, with the tight ends. Maybe you go out. Unless they go out and they trade for Devontae Adams, which they keep saying. I don't know. I feel like with Rodgers next year, he can make these guys have better seasons. Like Lazard, who's was a healthy scratch. I don't think Randall Cobb is sticking around. Well, he could be sticking around with Rodgers coming back next year, but I don't know. But yeah, so let's just go through what Tankathon has. So Caleb Williams they have going to the Bears. Then they got Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State going to the Cardinals. Drake May, the quarterback from North Carolina, they got going to the Patriots. Olu Fashanu, I can't pronounce his name. The offensive tackle from Penn State. Joe Alt from Notre Dame going to Washington. For the Giants, Laiatu Latu, the edge rusher from UCLA. For the Bucks, Jaden Daniels from LSU, the quarterback. Brock Bowers, like I said, to the Jets. Kool-Aid McKinstry, like I said, for the Chargers. And then for the Titans, Dallas Turner, the edge rusher from Alabama. So, I mean, we'll see. That's just the top 10 at the moment. They got J.J. McCarthy from Michigan going to the Seahawks. I mean, yeah, the Seahawks might be a team that does, takes a quarterback because, Geno, last couple weeks it has been great. I know he did get hurt late in the game against Seattle, but Seattle's got a good roster, and if they want to take that next step, they're in unfortunately for Geno, they're gonna have to upgrade a quarterback. They just are because Geno Smith is not winning a Super Bowl. It's just not happening. I don't like to say it, but I just don't see it happening with him. But obviously, this is going to change. And again, the Bears, they could, trade out of this pick and get a bunch of assets. Maybe somebody trades up with them. Or maybe they just say, you know what, we're taking the best quarterback available. We're trading Justin Fields. They could do that too. They could definitely do that too. Because Fields, he wasn't great last night. He was okay. But, I think, you go out, maybe you draft Caleb Williams, you draft Drake May. Because this regime is not the regime that drafted him. So, right now Fields is kind of playing for his job. I think with the Cardinals, I think they stick with Kyler. I could be wrong, but, Kyler's got talent. And, he's played good since he's come back. Although they did just get blown out by the Rams, but then again, the Rams always seem to own the Cardinals, so I'm not really gonna, fault Kyler for that. But we'll see what happens. As for the Giants, another win. They continue to fall in the draft. It's kind of weird because, you have on one hand you got one side of the fan base saying tank so we can get a quarterback, which I kind of want to lean towards that because I'm just not a Daniel Jones believer. And then on the other hand, you got the side of, Daniel Jones is our guy. We got to build an offensive line and get more weapons. So, for me, like I said, I lean more towards try to get a new quarterback. But the Giants winning these last two games, has been nice. I'm not gonna cry about it and go crazy. It's just they had a bad year. They need to fix a lot of things on the offense, the offensive line, the playmakers that they have, because they really don't have a lot of wide receivers. They don't. It's a problem. Jalen Hyatt had his best game as a pro on Sunday. Had over 100 yards, or exactly 100 yards. What did he have on Sunday? Let's look really quickly here. They need to upgrade at wide receiver. The defense has been playing better. He did have over 100 yards, 109 yards receiving on the day. That's good. That's a guy you drafted. Now you got to go out and get more. We'll see where they end up. Because right now they're outside of the top 5. I'm hoping maybe they can get, the third pick maybe. and maybe they could draft a receiver possibly. Maybe get Marvin Harrison Jr. Pair him with Hyatt, with Darren Waller, with Saquon Barkley. And then, suddenly, hey, there's some playmakers on offense, going into next year. There's your number one wide receiver that you've kind of been looking for. But then again, the offensive line has been a problem. So I don't know. I don't know what the Giants are going to do. Listen, you look at the top 10 right here. The Jets, if they keep losing, maybe they take a quarterback similar to what the Packers did, Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay taking Jordan Love. Maybe the Jets are like, all right, let's draft another quarterback to sit behind Rodgers until he retires, and then, we hand it off to him. You would think that, but I don't know. The Bucs, I could see them drafting a quarterback. The Giants, we'll see. We'll see now with them, falling here in the top 10. The Bears, the Patriots. I think the Titans, they got Will Levis. They'll probably give him another year, maybe. The Chargers, of course, with Herbert. Washington, does Washington stick with Sam Howell? I feel like they should, because he hasn't been bad. But then again, you got a new regime coming in. Maybe they elect to go in a different direction. I don't know. But I think for a lot of people, they are going to be petrified if the Patriots end up, getting the top pick and drafting a quarterback that's going to torment them for the next, 10-plus years. You hope that's not the case, for certain people, certain fans of certain teams, but it's definitely possible. But like I always say, we're just gonna have to wait and see how it all plays out. But so that's the updated draft order. And listen, the draft may be a long time from now, but it's gonna be here before you know it, because time just continues to go faster and faster. All right, so with that, we will take our final break of the show. And then when we come back, we're going to discuss the current standings around the league, go through all the divisions from each conference, go through the wild cards in both conferences, how those are all shaping out currently. And then that'll pretty much be it for the show today. One more segment to go. The show every single day goes really fast. Like I just said, time just goes faster and faster. That's what we will discuss when we come back from our final break of the show for today. So stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.